Hello to some of you. This is Oliver Clinton Matson. Listen to OCM. And it's October the 11th, 2016. 20 more days till Halloween, boys and girls. So get a hold of your masks and call up your Silver Shamrock representatives as soon as possible. Today's episode is brought to you by the Mouse House at 2200 North State Street, Suite D in Ukiah, California 95482. Their phone number 707-468-5050. The Mouse House has been serving Lake and Mendocino Counties for the last 20 years with adult goods, a gift shop, and rental services for adult videos, and availability of hardware for your films, your fun, and your service. That's the Mouse House at 707-468-5050. Also, 2200 North State Street, number D, in Ukiah, California, 95482. If you live around the Lake and Mendocino Counties and you do want to get a hold of something to excite your love life or get something for yourself, go ahead and go there. They've been detrimental to my last 20 years. So the Mouse House, 707-468-5050. The next thing is also, this episode is brought to you by ATGames, the makers of the Flashback series of plug-in consoles that will let you play a wide variety of games from the systems that you know from the 70s and 80s, and the 90s. Now they'll be releasing the Atari Flashback 7, as well as the Atari Flashback Portable, and the new Sega Flashback that is celebrating 25 years of Sonic the Hedgehog, and they've got some great hardware. I want to take a little more deep look into it and see how it is. Things go better with marijuana. Things don't go better with coke. Let's see. In news, I want you guys to go take a look at Phantasm Ravager and the new Phantasm remake. Those are going to be out soon. Let me go ahead and take a look at the exact dates on Ravager for you. Hold on. Hold on a second. I should have had this. March. No, wait, that's March 19th. No, fucking 1979. When will it be out? I'm showing that Phantasm Ravager may be out now. So, release date 7th of October 2016. So, go take a look at it, and I love it. I love all the Phantasm stuff, and keep the silver ball rolling. The audio for the first movie, the first soundtrack, inspired me to do a lot of synthesizer stuff back in the 80s when I was about 11 years old. I watched Phantasm on cable when I was about 10 or 11, and when I basically ditched school because I was bullied a lot, when I was about 11 years old. I used to go to Kmart and go hide in I'd go hide in this keyboard area and the electronics area, and I'd go plug in my headphones into the keyboards, and I'd try to replicate that and couldn't get it, but had fun learning, and from that learning I got into more stuff and continued my energy into music. About branched into lyrics and writing and art now, and do a lot of things. And I want to thank Don Coscarelli and David Hartman for bringing us this piece of art, because it is a piece of art. And if you have nightmares for more than 20 years from something, it stays with you. And I'm very sad about loss of Angus Scrim, and I know he'll be missed, but we have to realize mortality, and just like the tall man talked about. So in other stuff, I heard there might be a remake or rebuild or reboot of Robotech. Robotech was one of my favorite series back in the 80s and 90s. I watched it a ton, and I read the novels and got into comics, and it was an amazing series, and it was a great time, and I enjoyed it very much. It got me into giant robots. Voltron originally started it. I'll get into Voltron in a minute. But Robotech was the thing that basically focused me into Japanese animation, got me into comic books, and then after I got into comic books, I started getting to alternative comic books and pinball, and then into alternative music during that time. So Robotech was a good thing for me because it helped me get into Japanese animation, but heroism and structure and story structure and all that stuff through the time, and then I also got into I started my fanzine, Brainlick, and the Nocturnal Voice, because of Japanese animation, and that was after I got into Robotech, of course, but and Voltron and Robotech and weird films like Robot Jocks and The Black Hole and the sci-fi culture, not so much the Transformers. I looked at that too much as like there's a good and evil, and I didn't like the good guy bad guy thing aspect to it. It just doesn't really affect me. The only thing that really I liked was a lot of the bad guys. Actually, I liked Starscream, and I liked Megatron. Actually, I'm looking at a television over here on my side that says Megatron on it. That's creepy. Maybe the thing will jump up and take over the world someday. Who cares? Donald fucking Trump, man. This is the politics nowadays. I used to be a Republican back between I was a Dukakis guy originally, but then I found out about him being very lukewarm on a lot of statements. So I went Bush, then I went to Clinton, and then of course I was only I'm only 40, so I'm half of this crap that's going on in the world, not my fault. Okay, my votes, that didn't fucking mean jack shit. What I wanted to do was legalize pot, get more jobs, get localized industrial increased development of product, manufacturing for computers and video games here in the United States, cheaper clothes that we make by ourselves, resales for used stuff increased in public mannerisms, and lower priced energy stuff. But I'm trying to deal with all these things that are going on. I know that we've screwed up a few times, and I know that we have to transcend. I don't understand. I don't know how much the dollar got damaged during the European and Britain separation. That's something that bothers me, is that I'm not really clear on the numbers, but we're not going to be ever clear on the numbers because they've always got another set of numbers that are slightly above us or around us that we don't see. And that's something that bothers me a lot. There's not a lot of transparency. What I'd like is a transparent raw materials index so that we can manufacture, make, develop, invent, and attempt to invent more locally at a more transparent, in a more transparent manner, thereby separating manufacturing from overseas, as well as increasing development here in the United States, increasing jobs and creativity with household makers, developers, ordinary people, and just be able to get off this this system of leeching from Asia and other countries. Yes, I do know that we have a debt with Asia, but I do know the fact that there's a war machine that built this debt due to the fact that we bought gunpowder from these people during the times that we were in Europe for hundreds of years, and we were buying them out, and then we got shanghaied, and this started back in the 1300s. Then we got shanghaied over here, and but this is due to our gunpowder debt. Okay, our gunpowder debt. And because of the fact that we like to kill people or have fireworks, but for hundreds of years. This is from our gunpowder debt from China and Asia, Central Asia, and also manufacturing iron and other and raw materials from India and the Middle East, as well as the oil. So we're dealing with the trifecta of that and the incompetence of the American government to be able to start to regulate jobs here in the United States and start isolating boundaries on outsourcing so that we can have a more clear and stable workforce. If you were able to give me a job working from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. doing customer service for like Dell computers and helping people during the tight times, during the like early 2000s or late 90s, that would have been beautiful. But I didn't get that because people in India and whatever else places got those jobs. We need to start itemizing and start localizing our labor. We need to have a transparent labor interface to where we can have people that want to work for 10 years for a company to a couple days for a company, listing up what they want to do, and the companies listing out what they need, so that we have a transparent interface. You can go ahead and set up other interfaces, but we need to have localized food, localized labor, localized raw materials, localized manufacturing, localized resources, and localized energy in order to be able to transcend and to be able to live in the future. I believe that we should have legalized drugs across the board. If somebody overdoses, they overdosed and died. That's it. We need to remove the mafia and gangs and crime as factors in our lives due to drugs. And we need to stand up for ourselves as people, as citizens of the planet. And yes, we do need to accept ourselves as people who have habits. And we need to accept ourselves as people who are dealing with pain in different manners. Psychological pain, physical pain, emotional pain, depression, and also stress from work, relationships, and also politics and other outside forces that we have no control over that are causing us to drink and consume drugs and smoke pot and do things. I really do not recommend heroin. And I'd really like to see pot legalized all the way across the board, all over the planet. If at all possible. But I'd like to see, some smarter regulations and some good things. I'd also like to have balanced media. Balanced media, meaning elect time for rock music, for country music, for hip-hop, for underground music, for alternative folk music, spoken word and everything throughout the media, transparent, because of the fact that there's too much across the board hatred for minority music and the people who like minority music, or music that is considered a minority as calculated as to by the Billboard Top 40, Top 200, etc. People that like punk rock, people that like jazz and things like that, they don't need to be treated like this. People don't need to be treated like this because they listen to such music. It is unfair to them, it's unfair to the music, and it's an insult to humanity for not having balanced play of all types of music, for all types of people, of all races, all cultures, etc. All the way down the line on all barriers. Let it all fly. Let it all play. Let everyone listen to what they want to. Respect it and move on. Don't hate anyone for the type of music they like. That is small and bullshit. During our next third presidential debate, I would like to get a little bit more clarity on both of them as characters, as person, and have a little bit more depth and research into both candidates. And I'm just frustrated right now. Anyway, in local news, in Ukiah news, Vince Gilligan is up here. Probably he's doing Vince Gilligan did the direction for Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, as well as some other stuff, and he's up in the Ukiah area. He might be up in the Ukiah area. Yeah, I've seen him up here. So he's up in the Ukiah, Mendocino County area. He's doing a film or a thing for a miniseries, the thing for HBO regarding Jim Jones. If you do see him and meet him, be nice, be on your best behavior. Be nice to Vince Gilligan. Anyway, speaking of HBO, they just released yesterday an announcement regarding a possibility of Fraggle Rock coming back. Now, I am a huge Jim Henson fan. I cried like a motherfucker when Jim Henson died, and Fraggle Rock coming back would kick ass. That would be a lot of fun. I'd like to see all those the Fraggles. That'd be fun. I'd like to see that. And Hot Wheels just released these Beatles Yellow Submarine Hot Wheels cars. They have ones for each member of the band and some and a couple extra ones, and they totally kick ass. I also recommend the new Hot Wheels Glow Wheels series because they kick ass too, because the wheels glow in the dark. Black Sabbath's tour is happening. That's happening. Things I'm going to be buying later, soon, hopefully, is Velvet Underground, the Matrix tapes box set. I know they're not a new band, but I think they totally kick ass. New bands to look out for: Year of the Fist. Saw them live at the Forest Club due to an Old Growth Productions show. Thank you, Jared Skaggs. And may the force be with you, brother. Also saw a bunch of other bands at Jumpers in August, and did a bunch of other things. But yeah, Old Growth Productions. Look it up. Let's see. I heard that William Shatner will be doing the voice of Two-Face in the new Batman cartoon thing. So look up William Shatner Batman voice cartoon thing, animated thing deal. That's gonna be exciting. Captain Kirk, hell yeah. So shout out to Spiz Energy, of course, in London, England. Let's see what else. AM radio, mono. I like to record in mono now. I've found a few ways of doing some fun stuff with recording in standard mono, because I want to be able to record, because people have their phones, you know, people listen to the music on the phones, and I figure if we can focus everything into one channel and stuff, and people are still listening to music on, you know, the clock radios and AM radios and stuff. I think that if we recorded some of our music and I recorded some of my stuff in mono, I think that would be pretty cool and good for technology. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. I'm not going to talk about my mapping and all that other crap, because that'll be a fucking nightmare for you to listen to. Let's go ahead and click on this thing and see what's on the side of the thing. Of course. Okay, Glenn Beck says electing Hillary Clinton is a moral, ethical choice. Duh. Joy Behar explodes on women who accused Bill Clinton of rape. Okay, whatever. Winchester Mystery House, they found a new room. No shit. Also, at the Winchester Mystery House, I still wanted to do a movie there. Hammer Films. They're making a movie and about the Winchester family. So, that's going to be cool. Trevor Noah says regarding Trump over audio, it's not the locker room. It's you, motherfucker. So, there's a new Star Wars The Old Republic coming out, and go take a look at the trailer for that. It's gonna be cool. Shia LaBeouf just got married to Mia Goth, or Maya Goth. Interesting. Nah, I'm not gonna read that. Not okay. And GOP. Okay, Jeff Sessions, the GOP senator, says grabbing women's genitals is not sexual assault. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I want to say rest in peace to Bob Guccione, who developed Penthouse magazine. That was a great fucking thing. Let's see. I'm trying to do everything right except for flip the Fillmore West out. Oh, speaking of flipping out, why don't you go ahead and go to pinbox3000.com. Pinbox 3000. Pinbox 3000. That's the number 3 with 000. And it is a cardboard pinball machine. And you do the stuff yourself, and you do the things right, and they have pre-built tables for you, and you can go ahead and do a whole lot of stuff. So, Pinbox 3000. I'm going to go ahead and order one of those in November. Why you be waiting for October when you should be waiting for November? I think we should get all of our fucking guns out of the Middle East. All of our feet, all of our brains, everything, as many family members as possible. Let them police themselves like we should be policing ourselves here, but nicer. Not too many more murders. And beatings and arresting the wrong people. That's a good thing. Okay, cops? Thank you. The political system here in the United States and in England and Europe and is a little bit more confusing than I can think of. But anyway, go buy Hot Wheels, go drink beer, smoke pot, have sex if you can, watch good movies, play video games, enjoy yourselves, build joysticks, make pinball machines, play pinball. I said play pinball twice. Yeah, who cares? Don't be mean. Have pets. Enjoy yourselves. Be good. May the force be with you. And as always, I'll check you on the flip side.